This is a showcase of the Grim Dawn Infinity mod, which is completely customizing everything in the game, including the game world, all skills, pretty much all the stats, combat formulas, pretty much everything in there. The test character that I'm using now is level 16. So when you first start, killing a lot of this stuff is going to be, much more difficult. Now that I've gone through the beginning section, it's going to look maybe a little bit too easy and not very representative of what this is actually going to play like. But just to show you kind of the area and some of the stuff around here, I'm just going to go ahead and clear out some of the entry stuff by the loading zone. So there's been a lot of map detailing, a lot of stuff with the skills going on here, and modifications to all of the creatures on here. Stuff like this creature would typically do a slow skill. It still does here, but it's been modified, so it only casts this once in a while. So let's see if I can get it to do that. And then the slow on here, as you can see, is much stronger than what you would normally get hit as. And things like cadence just went off here, or sorry, that's the will on there. Completely modified skills as far as how many levels you can do, what the effects are, how long they last, all of that stuff. So one of the things I've just modified here is Blitz, which includes both the regular Blitz here. To take away all the percentages on here, so basically this skill is being used mainly as the knockback effect on it. One thing that I've done in reverse here is there's actually two different sets of mana costs. Most skills in the game, as you level them up, increase in costs. The primary skill here goes backwards. So the more you level this up, the more efficient it's going to be on mana cost. And then the addition to that, which does an armor reduction effect on there, actually that portion will keep increasing the cost if you do it. So if you want to keep increasing the effectiveness that way, you can, but it will increase that. So I'll use that now on this mob up ahead here. So it's knocked him down. As you can see, it's drained out my mana considerably on there. That's because I've just began leveling that. So as you progress, you can keep leveling that up so the cost isn't so high like that, or you can also just keep increasing your mana pool and the regeneration for it. So when you grab items like that, they're very common off of these. So one of the things to do in the beginning is to farm a lot of just the basic skeletons and pick up all the potions that you can off of that. So it does show that there's 99 on there, but I did change that limit. So I'll show you in the inventory here that that's actually set much higher right now. So if we look in the inventories, I have 139 of those. You will want to save those up. Because later on when you're fighting certain types of mobs, it's going to be much more important to be spamming things like that, or using them at times where you just want to fight stuff that's a little bit stronger than what your current level is. So the leveling on here, you'll notice it's kind of moving at it's kind of this average pace, slow to average on here. Played for maybe about 20-30 minutes, maybe a little more, you gain a level. That's pretty much going to stay consistent. So the idea is that you can just keep leveling up. These are static mobs on here, so even though I'm killing level 1 or 10 mobs, I'm always going to be getting the same amount of experience from them, so they're not going to scale down. The ones over here, very strong, but those are pretty much the guards. They're set to not roam, so they're just kind of protecting the area up there. We do not want to mess with them right now. And then on the bridge, this is also a secondary type of mob. You may have to shake him off a little bit there because that's going to be way too strong. He does still have quite a chase distance set, so I'll make sure that we kind of clear him off. Hopefully he'll kind of lose interest in us. The mobs up here at the bridge, so this is one where you start wanting to use skills more. because these are going to hit significantly harder. So this is where you start using potions and the iron will and stuff like that to kind of keep up if you're trying to grind some of the stuff out. They will be set accordingly for how much experience and reward is with that. But that's basically just kind of a preview right now to show some of the skills are in place, the mapping and what's there. So it is meant to be more of kind of a grindy type of a mod, more like one that you would actually play at end game. So if you play through the normal game and done all the quests and everything on there and you're just looking for something more of a challenge, that's where this kind of comes into play. But it will be basically a completely separate game. There's a lot of work to be done. Right now I am playing this as you see here, but it's going to be a little while before we get into everything. But I've gone through and pretty much tried to learn all of the back end stats and stuff. I may do some videos on that basically show if you want to change stuff on here. Like you can easily change things like how many, these are the tiers, but how many are required. You can max this out, so you can make this where it caps at 50 on the skill menu, but you can go up to 1,000 or more if you want. Same thing with skills like this. We can pretty much open them up to expand as far as we want. And then all of the stats in there. I'm doing very custom stats on here, so if I release that, I'll release some guides and stuff with that, because physique on here, physique actually, this doesn't match what the original game was intended to do. So some of these descriptions and hover text may not match. Physique is going to increase your damage. Cunning, which is dexterity, is basically going to increase your hit ratio. And then spirit is going to be health and mana and health regen. So it kind of balances out those stats for what they do. So that's pretty much it for the preview, just to kind of show you a little bit what's there, how it's playing right now. So thank you for watching.